this just in, it appears that Donald Trump has picked his Treasury Secretary. It's Steve Mnuchin. Now, if you're wondering who is that, well, boy, I've got news for you on who it is. First of all, it shouldn't be surprising because he was his campaign finance chairman. In other words, here's a guy who raised money for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump turns around and goes, oh, thank you for all the legalized bribes you raised for me. Now, in return, you get a cabinet post and a super important one, Treasury Secretary. So what is he doing now and what did he do in the past? Well, he was the last chairman of Dune Capital Management. So in the financial industry, Now that's weird. I thought Donald Trump ran on we are being against the global financial interests and that he was going to drain the swamp and he wasn't going to let those guys run things behind the scenes anymore. And he was for the average guy.
So this guy isn't an example of draining the swamp.
Okay, so
Weird.
all right, wait, chairman of Dune Capital Management, let's give you more. Oh, he was at Goldman Sachs. But, is it 17 days, 17 months? No, 17 years at Goldman Sachs. So what happened? I thought he was against the bankers. Oh, he played you for a fool. So all those Trump supporters, now some of them were like, hey, look, I just want your basket of deplorables don't care, right? Yeah. Those guys are like, oh, you're against the blacks, I'm against the blacks, the Mexicans, the Muslims, I'm in, I don't care. Yep. Rob me blind, I don't care, right? But a lot of the Trump supporters thought he was going to drain the swamp. They thought he was a populist. They thought he cared about the average American worker, and he was against the global financial interests. Yeah. He just let them take over the House. I'm not even done yet. This guy also co-founded an entire bank. He co-founded OneWest Bank Group, but you're going to love the last one. Here's the other place that he worked at. Soros Fund Management.
Oh my God. It just keeps getting better and better. It just keeps getting better and better.
You guys are such suckers, you Trump voters. What did I tell you?
No. Are they the suckers? No, we're the suckers because we're the elitists who kept trying to come at them with evidence and information, and they don't want that. They don't want the evidence and information. They're tired of our elitist asses living, in the coasts, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. He's the anti-establishment candidate. He's going to drain the swamp / fill it with every establishment type person you could imagine.
Okay, so you didn't want the facts, so okay. Just sit there. You know what you should do? You know how I always say that like the apes, they do this and they offer up their hands like this to the alpha male?
Well, they're bananas.
Yeah, just add an extra layer now that this banker from Soros and Goldman Sachs is running things. Offer up your wallet while you're at it. Okay, and what's he going to do? Of course, Dodd-Frank financial reform gone. Release the Kraken. They're going to get rid of the regulations. There's no more cops on the street, at least on Wall Street, okay? Let the robbers go wild. And, okay, so, you bought a bunch of talking points. Dodd-Frank is overreach, is overregulation. Okay, fine. So what's the other thing he's going to do? He told CNBC in August, this new Treasury Secretary now, we are very focused on lowering business taxes, making sure that U.S. corporations are competitive around the world, that's their code words, bringing back cash from all around the world that's sitting offshore, and I think the American public is focused on that. So they bring the cash from abroad. They're supposed to pay 35%. Some of the Republican proposals had that cash abroad tax rate down to 5%.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Highway robbery. When they don't pay the taxes, you do. It's not lower taxes for everyone, it's lower taxes for them, higher taxes for you. Payroll taxes have become a much bigger portion of the taxes that are being paid because you pay them. Middle class pays those taxes, not corporations. And Donald Trump on the campaign trail said that he would lower corporate taxes overall from 35% max to 15%. So the money that they had abroad, because they didn't want to pay their taxes on it, might be down to 5%. Some even proposed 0%. The money they make here should be at 35%. They're going to bring that down to 15%.
Let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I'm ready. Okay? Because here's the reality. There's a silver lining to all of this. And if things play out the way that we expect them to play out, again, this could hopefully be a teachable moment. And that's not to say like, oh yeah, I hope that rural America is punished for their actions. No, I'm hoping, I'm praying, even though I'm not religious, that I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I don't want him to fail. I don't want the economy to collapse. I wish that he had a successful presidency where the country is prosperous and everyone benefits from his policies. I don't think that's going to happen. And if things play out the way I predict, I hope, for the love of God, we actually value evidence and information instead of stupid fake news stories on Facebook that reinforce our biases. I don't know. I'm hoping we learn from this.
Well, so one fact is in. If you thought he was not on the banker's side and he was going to protect you from the financial industry, well, you were wrong. So he just put in a giant banker who worked with George Soros. So now, on the other hand, I know that a lot of you will still be convinced, no, it's a secret genius move, three-dimensional chess. Us Democrats heard about three-dimensional chess in the one Obama was playing. And that turned out to be totally full of crap. And believe me, same thing for Trump. Believe me, totally full of crap. And you will see. And look, why are we against the Wall Street bankers getting these insanely low tax rates? One, because you're going to have to make up the difference and pay the tax. Second of all, they're going to destroy the deficit. All this time, you said you care about the debt and the deficit. This will explode the debt and the deficit. And again, we could be wrong, but we'll see it play out. And then we'll give you the facts. If you want to ignore the facts, that's fine. But the reality is Bill Clinton left a giant surplus for George W. Bush, and he turned it into trillions of dollars of deficits. Now, Trump is going to do that, but on steroids. And at some point, there's a price to pay for that economically. So they will create a bubble, and the more they take risks with your money, depositor money, at some point, those risks will blow up on them just like they did in 2008 after 8 years of Republican rule. But since this is on steroids, it's likely to happen on a shorter time frame. So buckle up. And even if you're a Trump supporter, now that this guy's in charge, brace for impact. You want the same old mainstream media stuff?
Hell no!
I hear you, brother. That's why we got a whole new show on the Young Turks called Aggressive Progressive. Members get the whole show. Do it now. tytnetwork.com/join.